Are you serious? Are you serious? Well, it's getting very serious with the coronavirus. I'm here in Okinawa, Japan, staying at my son's home, and we're having a great time with our family here. But the world is now paralyzed in a possible pandemic. We have a very prophetic one at that. Matter of fact, I told you yesterday there was 941 people affected or sick according to the governments of the world, the WHO, using the Wuhan coronavirus global cases by JHU. That number's jumped in 24 hours from 941 to now officially at the moment 1,438 cases, of which 1,399 are in mainland China, the majority of it in the city of Wuhan, but it's spreading all over China, okay, fast. 7 cases now confirmed in Thailand, 5 in Hong Kong, 4 in Australia, 3 in France, 3 in Malaysia, 3 in Singapore, 3 in Taiwan. 2 is all they're saying is in Japan. I can tell you that is wrong. And 2 in Macau, and 2 in Korea, and 2 in the United States, and 2 in Vietnam, and 1 in the country of Nepal. These numbers seem to be way off track based on the reaction of the media, of the government officials. If those numbers were true, this is nothing to really talk about, other than the fact that yesterday we reported to you there were 26 people dead. Today we can report 42 people are dead and only 39 people have been completely cured. The rest of the people are sick right now. Now, look what's going on with the reaction. The reaction is quite interesting. If I go to the Hong Kong this morning, Hong Kong, which only has 3 cases? 5? Wait, just double check that. Let's just double check that. 5 cases. You only got 5 cases of flu in Hong Kong. 5. Then why would you declare a state of emergency for the entire city over the 5 cases? This reaction is way over the top for what's going on, unless these numbers aren't right. Here's what's going on. According to the report, Hong Kong has declared a state of emergency and have shuttered every school across the entire region, closed, as the world continues to grapple with the spreading coronavirus. Matter of fact, Hong Kong Chief Executive Carrie Lam, who's that mayor that they've been protesting, all the protesting is get rid of her, get rid of her. She's got to go, get rid of her. We want to be free. Guess what? She just declared a state of emergency for the entire city of Hong Kong and has shut down every school for 2 weeks over 5 cases. Really? And all elementary schools, all secondary schools, all high schools are mandatory closed for 2 weeks. The move comes as residents celebrate 1 week of the Lunar New Year. Hong Kong has also requested that the universities extend the vacation they're on for another 2 weeks. In other words, they're shutting down the universities. Every school in Hong Kong shut down, given the threat from the virus, which has spread to 5 people in Hong Kong, ballooning to over 1,400 worldwide, with 42 people dead from the contagion, which does not yet even have a vaccine. Of course not. They can't till you know what you're dealing with. Hong Kong has also canceled the marathon, the big marathon they have every year in Hong Kong. 70,000 people run in this major event annually on February 9th. It is canceled. The United States, get this reaction. The President of the United States has just organized chartered flights to evacuate all U.S. diplomats and U.S. citizens from the Chinese city of Wuhan, where the virus started, where the virus outbroke in China. And he made that announcement. No, he did that yesterday. All of our diplomats, get them out of there, okay? The Chinese doctor who has been treating patients with the coronavirus at the hospital got sick himself and has just died. And the virus has reached the United States in two cases, one in Washington State, the other one in Chicago, Illinois. And the New York Governor, Andrew Cuomo, just announced Friday that 4 people have been put in isolation at a hospital in New York City, and they're being tested and suspected to have the strain of the coronavirus, which could spread from human to human to human. I'm asking a question. Again, 4 years ago, I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, at a Mensa conference, and where I sat in for 1 hour with Heidi. The two of us sat there and listened to one of the former key directors of the CDC get up and give a 1 hour presentation on why the bird flu would eventually mutate. It is mutated 12 times. He says the next mutation will be not only for bird to bird to bird or bird to human, but bird to human to human to human. All the other cases are bird to human, bird to human, bird to human. Never human to human to human. He said, but the next mutation will be bird to human to human to human to human. And he said, thousands, millions will die. This guy he said, it's not a question of if it's going to happen, it's a question of when. That was 4 years ago. Are we here? Is that what's happening? I am not sick, okay? This is a reaction to the medication I'm taking, which I'm going to be changing that, so don't freak out. This happens to me about once every 15 hours or so. A little short coughing spell, dry cough, and then it just goes away. So it's kind of strange, but I'm fine. So anyway, that's what we got going on with that. Now, I got more information. Steve Quayle, and I'm going to see if I find his information I had pulled up here. Give me 1 second. Steve Quayle has just done a report at his website where he is really saying that the numbers that I'm sharing with you, that are the official numbers being released out there, are so off the chart wrong, it's not even funny. For instance, the city of Wuhan, 11 million people, they are quarantined. There's no food going in or going out, no trucks, no airplanes, no boats, no subway system, no bus system. How long can 11 million people live in a city where no food is, where nothing's coming in and nothing's going out? So, in the report we're getting, let me get some water here. The report we're getting, there's 5 more cities that are also on quarantine, making the total of 22 million people total that are actually in this quarantine procedure going on in the middle of China. Okay, now Hong Kong hasn't quarantined this city, but they're shutting down all the schools, closing down the festivals, shutting down the marathon. The reaction is insane. Now, what Steve Quayle is saying, that it's more like 16 million people may already be affected. 16 million. And with estimates as high as 40 million. You might say, that's just insane. His numbers are crazy. No, I don't know. I mean, we're talking, China's a nation of 1.8 billion. And 16 million is a lot of people. But it's very possible, folks, that somewhere between 1,400 cases globally and 16 million, which one's the real number? I mean, where's the real number? I don't know. But the reaction of the world would lean that it's more than 1,400 cases. That it's maybe somewhere closer to 1 million people sick. And the death toll, is it really 42? Or are we talking 420 or 4,000? Do we really know the numbers? So this coronavirus thing is spinning out of control. We're going to manage it here and monitor. Remember what the Bible said. That when the pale horse rides, when those 4 seals, when the breaking of the seals, when they begin to gallop, when the seals start to break, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, That pale horse will ride, bringing massive death. Even Jesus in Matthew 24 said there'd be pestilences. There would be plagues, folks, on a biblical scale. The Bible tells us this is coming and many will die. Now, it isn't like we haven't seen it before. Don't forget the bird flu of 1918 that killed about 60 million people, including my great-grandmother. She died in 1918 of the Spanish flu, it was known as, or the flu of 1918. That was just 102 years ago. I mean, come on, guys. This is nothing. We've had the Black Plague. And then you got to watch the signs in the heavens, because we know solar eclipses a lot of times. Or is the 5 waves of energy? Is the space dust falling from the heavens being pushed down on our planet right now, forcing our stratosphere and our ionosphere and our jet stream down? Is it sprinkling in that dust that's falling? It's causing the radiation levels to go up 20% in the last 4 years. Is there some kind of bacteria or virus coming from the heavens? Now, most likely, it's all the birds, chickens and pigs and stuff living right in the homes of people crammed into these cities in China. More than likely, that's the cause. But you know what? Some people wonder, is there something more sinister here, like bioterrorism or bio control? The demonstrations are going to stop in Hong Kong. You didn't have to do anything because the coronavirus is going to shut it down. Can't go to school, can't have festivals, can't have marathons, can't have demonstrations. Everybody's wearing a mask. So when I arrived here in Japan, of course, I know the Asian people wear masks, but the numbers of wearing the mask now, and I just noticed this yesterday. We were at a little festival yesterday here in Okinawa, and we went to the town of Nago for the Cherry Blossom Festival. Wonderful, beautiful people, beautiful flowers, beautiful festival. We had a great time. But 30% of the people walking around had a mask on. Now, a lot of that they do whether there's a coronavirus or not. It didn't shut down the city. It didn't break anybody's hearts. I didn't hear nobody coughing. But people are paranoid right now. They don't know what's going on. And the truth is, we don't know what the real numbers are. We don't know what the real numbers are. But they're rising. Whatever they're giving us, the numbers they're giving us are rising fast. They're doubling. I mean, so let's see what happens the next 48 hours. If the numbers they give us says over 100 people dead, 150 dead, and if the number of people sick, runs to 3,000, that's the numbers they're giving us. But what if the numbers are more like already 4,000 dead and 40,000 infected? What if those numbers are the real numbers? Because the reaction we're seeing, and look, what's 2 weeks going to do for you? No one knows what the incubation period is on this strain of virus, because nobody even knows what the strain of virus is. We can't even get anybody to tell us what the cause of it is. So nobody knows. And I'm going back to the days of the CDC at that Mensa Convention in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 4 years ago, when they told us it isn't a question of if, but when. And I'm also taking a look at the Bible about the plagues of the last days. Study them. I'm not saying the seventh trumpet and the seventh vials are being poured right now, but I am saying that Jesus said in the end times there would be plagues and pestilences. And folks, we are in the end times, and now we're having earthquakes, volcanoes, high radiation levels, pole shifting, extreme weather conditions changing, plagues breaking out, earthquakes breaking loose, events happening on a biblical scale. We're living in the end times. So I'll be back with more updates on the coronavirus, as well as all the rest of the stuff going crazy out there, whether it's wildfires, earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis, just crazy plagues and different things going on, wars, rumors of wars, all this stuff happening simultaneously. You got to know, you have to understand, this is the end times. Give your life to Jesus Christ. And whatever you do not miss Sunday Night Live. I'll be live 3 hours right here from Japan. We're going to cover the world in the catastrophes that are taking place. Are you serious?